Okay, let's dive in. We've got a whole stack of sources here on the Luxury Naturist Italy Guide for 2026. And, if you're thinking of a packed beach club, maybe in Capri with a spritz, you need to just wipe that image completely.
Oh, completely. This trend is a total rebrand of the whole practice.
It really is.
The guide for 2026 makes a really hard pivot away from just recreational sunbathing. They're calling it regenerative naturism.
Regenerative naturism.
And the sources are framing it as longevity 2.0.
I love that term. It seems like the high net worth traveler has moved beyond that pamper me idea.
Right.
Forget cucumber masks and champagne. It's all optimize me now. They're not just looking for relaxation. They want actual biological results.
Exactly. They want results from these, what the guide calls ultra nature environments. It's bio-optimization, plain and simple.
So break that down. What's the philosophy there?
Well, a core idea is something called circadian tourism. You aren't just, sleeping on a beach. You are actively using the natural light cycles of these super remote places to reset your internal body clock.
So the sunlight is actually a tool to fix your sleep.
It's a tool. And that connects directly to elemental wellness. The whole idea is using the environment, glacial water, geothermal heat, the mineral content in the air as an active therapy.
What really stood out to me, though, was the timing. The guide is very clear about not going in July or August.
Yes, that's the shoulder season strategy, May, June, September. The sources are pretty adamant that to get the real benefits, like vitamin D synthesis, you have to avoid the hyperstimulation of the summer crowds.
You can't really downregulate your nervous system if you're fighting for towel space.
You just can't.
So let's get into the specific spots, because the guide calls them sanctuaries. Let's start with Sardinia. Spiaggia di Piscinas. It's called the Italian desert.
It's just dramatic. We're talking 60-meter sand dunes. But the wellness angle, the real reason to go is the wind.
The wind.
The Mistral wind there, it generates these incredibly high concentrations of negative ions. And for you listening, negative ions are molecules that we inhale, and they're believed to seriously boost serotonin levels.
So you're there for the serotonin boost, not just the view. The guide also mentioned grounding.
Right. Walking barefoot on that specific type of soft sand creates a subtle instability. It forces your body to restore its natural gait. It's basically functional movement disguised as a walk on the beach.
Okay, next up is Sicily, Torre Salsa. This one felt more like a DIY spa.
That is the perfect way to describe it. The cliffs there are white marl, which is basically a natural clay, so travelers are using it for full-body mud packing right there on the beach.
So you get detoxification, skin smoothing, all sourced from the geology right in front of you.
Exactly.
But if you have, actual physical pain, the guide points to Elba Island, to Acquarivelli Beach, and this is where semotherapy comes in.
Which is really just a technical term for sand therapy, but the sand at Acquarivelli is black. It's rich in hematite, an iron oxide mineral.
And because it's black, it holds heat better.
Much better. It retains heat for far longer than white sand, so burying yourself in it is like this intense, heavy-duty heat treatment for your muscles and joints.
But here's the catch, and I think this is the most fascinating part of the psychology. These places are hard to get to.
Very hard.
Acquarivelli requires a 100-meter descent down a cliff. In Sardinia, it's a 3-kilometer hike.
And the guide argues that the difficulty is the point. They call it the nervous system reset.
A reset.
Yeah. The physical effort it takes to get there actually shifts your brain out of chronic stress mode and engages the parasympathetic system, your rest and digest state, before you even hit the sand.
So the journey itself is part of the therapy. It filters people out.
It's the filter.
Okay, so even this has gear requirements for 2026. I'm seeing this thing called the Terry bag.
It's an aesthetic thing, bags made out of towel material. But the real non-negotiable is the SPF. The guide basically mandates mineral-only sunscreens like Project Reef. It's about aligning skin health with planetary health.
And the rules are strict. No cameras, obviously.
Privacy is the ultimate luxury.
Right. And also hygienic towel placement.
Which is just good manners, really. Always sit on your towel. But that camera ban is critical. It creates a soft reset for the mind because you aren't performing for social media. You're just there.
So it seems the whole 2026 experience is about information gain. Learning what your body needs and going to these extremes to find it.
It really challenges our traditional definition of a luxury vacation. It's less about service and more about solitude and biology.
And I think that's the key takeaway. If that 3-kilometer hike is just as important as the beach at the end of it, we want you to ask yourself this. Is true luxury in 2026 defined by the comfort of a destination or by the sheer difficulty of just getting there?
Something to think about.
Thanks for diving in with us.